A rally was held at the Arkansas State Police headquarters in Little Rock today, organized by Citizens for Credibility and Trust and the United Panther Party. Speakers included the Reverend Benny Johnson and retired Judge Marion Humphrey. Concerns were expressed about the lack of action concerning two Arkansas state troopers that participated in the insurrection and failed coup at the nation's capital on January 6th. Lack of equity in hiring and promotion practices, qualified immunity, and training needs to ensure citizens' safety.
Hey, good afternoon, everyone. We're here today with the United Panther Party, our Citizens for Credibility Trust, and Little Rock Leadership. Barry Jensen, President NAACP in Jacksonville, retired Judge Marion Humphrey. I'm Benny Johnson, founder and President of Arkansas Common College. We're here to talk about the patterns and practices of the Arkansas State Police Department. This department has shown some racial disparities among people of color. They also have supported a couple of the troopers who did an insurrectionist up in Washington, D.C. on January the 6th. This trooper was so close that she explained what she saw. That means she had to be close in proximity to see what was going on. And call us in the back up in the video. We asked Colonel Bryan to investigate this fairly and officially show some transparency. We're not asking, we're not pleading, but we're demanding enough is enough. Also, we're very upset about Marion Humphrey Jr., who is a law student of the U of A, was on his way home, minding his own business, and driving while black, and was stopped by this unprofessional trooper. Now, first thing I want to ask Colonel Bryan, why was this trooper hired? Because when he was in the Dover Police Department, they had to sell a substantial amount of money for the wrongdoing of this state trooper for his misconduct. Now, we need an overhaul in this department. Now, out of over 500 troopers, only 68 of our color. In this whole state of Arkansas, you have 3 black women. That is injustice in this state police headquarters. We're asking you to do better. We're commanding you to do better and to show transparency. And if you don't, you will be hearing from us again. And we're going to call you to the carpet. And we don't want it tomorrow. We don't want it next month, but we want it immediately because black lives do matter.
Adoption of qualified immunity by judicial decision back in 1967. Qualified immunity gives cover and license to those who are officials that they can violate the constitutional rights of individuals with impunity. They have immunity from lawsuit in certain areas, and I think that needs to be corrected. I also want to call to the attention of Colonel Bryan, and I'm not here just because I'm concerned about my son and what's happened to him. He has adequate legal representation that will deal with his situation, and he will deal with that. But I have been contacted and represent 3 individuals here in Little Rock who had guns pulled on them during the outbreak of demonstrations after the George Floyd killing last summer. Now, these were individuals who were minding their own business. They're all African American, by the way. And the state police officer perhaps wasn't directly the one who pulled the gun, but there were people working under the auspices of the state police from other agencies, some from North Little Rock in particular, who actually did that, pulled guns on citizens of this community. African Americans want to be treated as citizens, not as suspects. Yeah. And that is the critical issue that I think that we need to address. How do we get law enforcement people to deal with us in the way that they would deal with someone who's white who lives in Chenal or North Hills? We want the same kind of respect. We are citizens, we are taxpayers. We don't want every African American male or Hispanic male who's young and who's driving a U-Haul to go home or go wherever they're going to be stopped, harassed, and mistreated and abused by Arkansas State Police. And the director has not responded to these type of issues. I think he believes that you can sweep them under the rug, but this is 2021, and a lot of things people just don't want to have swept under the rug, and we're going to continue to lift these issues.